Hello, everybody. This is Rob's house. Jesus rules. Not God, no such thing. I hate Islam with a passion, but I love all Muslims. So what I'm doing today is I'm just going to go through some of my research on why I think Islam is not really a religion at all. It's just a political identity or entity. So I guess the place to start is the book of Daniel. Or is it? No, let's do it a little bit different. Okay, so I'll screen share these things. They're available online from, you can Google them. So the first thing I want to look at is an oddity that I picked up when I was writing my book, What is This Thing Called God? And what it is that, so again, when I do research, I'm into evidence, factual-based stuff, because I hold with great conviction that things like gods, devils, angels, they're just all fabrications of someone's imagination. In other words, God is just a story in a book, nothing more, nothing less. It has no reality to it. So people made it up. Now, if that were to be true, then there should be evidence historically that supports that outcome. So what we do is we have a look at, we'll first have a look at the history. Good morning, viewer. Viewer number one came and viewer number one went. Must have seen the Islam title. People get scared about fucking Islam. Now, not Muslims. Mustn't hate Muslims. Muslims are just people like the rest of us. Now, where are we? Right, here we go. All right, now, not there. Actually, we'll start with the battle. A battle called the Battle of Kokbar. It was the third of three conflicts between the Romans and the Jews. They're probably not really true conflicts. I just say that they were more like bloody massacres, regardless of what the history says. So I think it's those three woes. Or actually, I've got great conviction because I found a story in the book of Revelation about horses and blood up to their nostrils that was also repeated in the Talmud, which in the Talmud's report of this Bar Kokhba revolt. Same story. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, I know what you bastards have done. You've written a story after the fact and claimed it was a prophecy. And now all the nutters around the world think that bloody biblical prophecies are going to come true because they've seen two wars. No. Oh, and Vesuvius, because of the dating now, Vesuvius fits into the mix. And then that maps perfectly back to the Revelations. And apparently Nero, 666, was regarded as the beast and they expected him to come back. So it all fits pretty well. But anyway, this Battle of Kokbar occurred in 135 AD. And after the battle, the Jewish people were sent back to Persia, the Persian Jews. That's a story within its own right. But from that platform, it seems, going by this article, that they battled against Rome. Hello, viewer number one. They battled against the Romans right up to, and this is really, really, really interesting. Look at these times here. So they're battling up to 629 CE or AD. And then it's finally lost to Muslim armies, 637. So what you got is you got the Persian Jews fighting the Romans, or the Persian Empire, as I like to refer to it, fighting the Romans right up to the birth of Islam. And then check this out. Check this out. I don't know how people don't fucking pick this stuff up. It's pretty obvious. Anyway, check this out. The wars, right, 637 AD or thereabouts, right up till today. The bloody Muslim army, so we're talking politics now, not religion, are in all of these numerous jihads. I think one reporter said about 540 of these jihads through time. So the interesting thing, though, is that you have this conflict going on, Persian Jews against Rome, and it switches. And there's no more reporting of the Persian Jews fighting the Romans from that point forward. It's Islam. Why is that so? Very interesting. I think the answer is to do with empires. Empires. So in my opinion and in my book, I claim that empires own religions, always have and always will. And they have a mix of good spirituality in there. They pinch that from the stories, but then they put on top these fantasy stories, you know, about God, creator gods, and the afterlife. All right, so that's interesting enough. So that's the context that we look at. There's something suspicious going on here, I think. Now I want to go back to the book of Daniel, because it's in the book of Daniel, in the Bible, that we first hear of a flying man called Gabriel, Angel Gabriel. He's not mentioned any earlier. People will say that Enoch mentions him, which is true, but I think, truth be known, Enoch was written around the same time the book of Daniel was written, and also the book of Jubilees. Why I say that is because if you go back to the book of Leviticus, you find Jubilees for the first time mentioned, and a Jubilee is a 50-year period. Well, but when you come forward to the book of Jubilees that emerges around 150 AD or 160 AD, according to scholars, you see the term Jubilees mentioned, but it's only now a 49-year period. And then if you flick across to the book of Daniel, it references 490-year period. So, you know, it's almost like the hand that wrote the Daniel had a hand in Jubilees. And then, of course, there's the other aspect that they switched from lunar to solar, and the Romans like solar. And the Romans were at this... oh, sorry, I didn't mention it. So there's this battle between the Greeks, the Seleucids, who are descendants of the Greeks. They versed the Maccabees, representing the Jews, and the Romans in 161 BC. So the Romans were around at the time that this book of Daniel emerges historically. So if you go look up a Dr. Dale Martin from Yale University, he'll give a great outline that produces a story that says the book of Daniel is a fraud. It was written post-mortem to the events that it predicts. That's a detailed discussion. Won't get into that now, but can definitely give a lot of evidence that supports that with scholarly backing. So what do we have in summary? We have this scenario where people, humans, wrote this book fraudulently. So in other words, it's not the fucking word of God at all. It's just fraudulent writings. And the really, really, really interesting thing is this. If that's true, that it is a fraudulently written book, and I tell you, the evidence is very, very strong that it is. If that's the case, then it must follow that Angel Gabriel was also a delusional creation of the author of the book of Daniel. Why is that important? Well, it means that Muhammad could not have possibly spoken to a God-bearing figure at all. He must have been speaking, you know, he's got to have made it up. That means that Allah must also have been made up. Must have been made up story, at least in the Quran. So, what do we have so far? We have no Angel Gabriel, doesn't exist, made up story. We have Muhammad making up a story about Allah. So Quran is bullshit. We have other information too. If you go, I didn't get this one up, but I will. If you go to scientific errors now, this is a reasonable sort of thing, but unfortunately, he probably didn't do as good a job as he should have. But this guy reports on scientific errors. He's probably done a good job, but the bloody the Muslim leaders or the Sufis, or no, not Sufis, imams are fucking lying pricks. Now, here it is here. Go look it up yourself. I didn't make it. So go shoot these people or chop their heads off, not mine. So anyway, what you get here is a whole list of anomalies, right, in the Quran. Things like devils chasing, what do they chase? Oh, something chasing devils. Oh, stars. That's right. Sorry. Stars chase devils. That's what they reckon. Which is bullshit. But what you should do is think of the mindset of the person. Because remember, I'm saying that men wrote this Quran, not a God, because Angel Gabriel's a fake. There's no avenue up to a God. And basically, even Jesus said no God. You think I'm wrong on that one? Here we go. Here's what Jesus said. Jesus said, if your leaders say to you, so here it is here, if your leaders say to you, look, the Father's kingdom is in the sky, that's a reference to Yahweh, then the birds of the sky will precede you, meaning that the birds are masters of that domain, so they would know more about God than you would. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fish will precede you. So what that means is that, that's net reference to Neptune, or not Neptune, Poseidon, or I'm not sure, but whatever the Romans' bloody gods were. He says, rather, stop it. He says, rather, the kingdom is within you and it's outside you, which is actually spiritually 100% correct. He's talking about human nature, the way we're made, not by a creator, but the way nature makes us. So in spiritually, we have two aspects that are the underlying drivers for all spiritual reality. Not fucking God's in the sky. That's a scam. When you know yourself, so this is this concept of know thyself, on the enlightened journey, then you will be known and you will understand that you are children of, hello viewer number one, you'll understand that you are children of the living Father. That's a reference to nature. That's what he talks about, but he's using the vernacular of the first century. But if you do not know yourself, then you live in poverty. So that's people that choose to still follow the egoic nature, and self-serve, selfish pricks. And there's far, 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 far too many of people like that. I'm getting real good. Hello, viewer number two. I'm getting real good at spotting egoic natures. They're very, very obvious when you know what to look for. All right, so there you go. Jesus said, there's no ambiguity there. No fucking sky daddy. That's what he said. Ain't no sky daddy. Now, where do we get to? All right, so in the Quran, so think about this. Hello, viewer number one. Think about this, right? We've sort of come up with a conclusion that, yes, the Quran is written by men, because we now know that Angel Gabriel was a fabrication. So therefore, the author has a 7th century mindset. So when we apply that rule, all of a sudden these anomalies make a fucking lot more sense. They just do. Right, so for example, let's look at one. Let's look at stars are missiles shot at devils. I mean, first reaction is, come on, pull the other fucking leg. Now, where is it? Okay, here we go. So the Quran says that stars, it calls them lamps. Now, you got to remember, in the 7th century, there was no vehicle to actually understand what stars were. No fucking way that any human on that planet would have a clue. All they saw was little dots up in the sky, and they thought, that's a star. So these stupid pricks, no, they're lovely people. Well, no, hang on, they're being malicious actually by creating lies. What they did is they saw comets or meteorites fly through the sky. And that's the baseline for this particular Quranic thing. So, all right, now immediately we've got a problem. Or, no, sorry, not a problem. We've got an indicator that bullshit stories are going on here that are written by 7th century men, humans. And while I'm on that point, what God would fucking make up virgins, so he just sort of produces them. Now, I don't know whether it's 72, but I do know this for a fact. It's got to be more than 2, because in the Quran it says Allah makes virgins, and he only makes virgins for men. So that when I saw that, I thought, oh, I know what's going on. This is male written. Males wrote this. They didn't give a shit or thought the women weren't important. And that sort of fits with the psychology of these people of the day. So so what we've got, they're looking at these meteors and they're saying, oh, look at that. Whoa. there's a lamp, a star, and it must be chasing devils. That's proof to our foolish readers that fucking God is real. Hello, viewer number 2. That's proof. We'll be able to say that, and our followers will say, oh, wow, look, it's true. Stars do chase devils. Well, no. Stars don't fucking hardly ever move. Well, they move in small slices, but not like a meteorite. And they're huge fucking things like the sun. So if they were anywhere near us or they were chasing devils, God, imagine the chaos in the universe if they were racing around like, meteorites. So it's clearly evident that this is a load of fucking hogwash written by 7th century humans, and this is how they viewed their world. And they thought that they were safe, right? That no one would fucking wake up, because how would they know that down the road science would advance and actually work out that this is bullshit? I mean, it's as plain as the nose on your face. Now, what you want to do is have this argument with a Muslim person, and my goodness, the fucking explanations they come up with, but they're all bullshit. It's just all fucking lies. So that's that one. Let's probably do that. And let's go back and see what else we've got. Oh, there's a stack of them here. Go look them up yourself. Sky is a tent and dome. Hello, viewers numbers 1 and 2. So this book says the sky is a tent or a dome. That's the fucking mindset, right? That says that we're on a flat Earth model. That's exactly what the old biblical stuff around 538 BC was saying, that we live on a dome-shaped universe. So that tells me that whoever wrote this book, and remember, we now know it wasn't God-inspired because fucking Angel Gabriel's not real. Whoever wrote this book, right, copied it from the psychology or the thinking of the people that were involved in the Bible. I'm suggesting Persian Jewish people might have been involved somehow. I don't know how, but that's just a theory, so I don't know for sure. So they say sky is a guarded canopy. That's the same fucking thing. Well, it's not a fucking canopy. It's, it's a bunch of nothingness around the globe. So hang on, Creator God, got to be wrong. They fucked up. They've got the story wrong. They have. Islam is a load of bullshit, and it should be shut down immediately. But hey, Muslims, I got good news for you. The good news is this. I think I've found your Injil, and it's actually spiritually solid. So what the Injil is the gospel of Jesus, right? And that there was something that actually fits that profile perfectly. And it's called classically the Gospel of Thomas, but if you actually look at its writings, there's 114 sayings, and they're all sayings from a dude called Jesus, which is what the Injil is supposed to be about. Also, the Muslims say that Injil was corrupted. That can be proven clinically because 61 of those sayings were actually used in the Bible. No joke. But they fucked them over a bit, they twisted and turned them. And the 53 that they left out of that group are clearly the true spiritual teaching, which undermines the crap that the empires like to run. So, I don't know. It's probably, I think that's enough, really. I don't know that we have to go into any more detail. But if you watch the Rose Patton Show, I'm going to be a guest on the Rose Patton Show either today or soon. And we'll be going over the topic again. And we're going to have Johnny, who's an ex-Muslim, and he's going to get into a bit more detail from the perspective of someone that's had a critical eye over Islam and knows the Quran better than I do. All right. Is there anything else? That's that. Oh, that's me. Just going to the docs. Book of Daniel we spoke about. We spoke about the wars and how interesting that is, in that you've got these fucking wars between the Persian Jews and Rome, and then all of a sudden, like a light switch goes off, Islam picks up the mantle and starts fighting with Rome. Something very, very suspicious about that. This is true spirituality. And you've got fucking books and books and books and fucking books and crap written. And I promise you, this little paragraph here is the true story about the human condition. An old Cherokee told his grandson, there is a battle between two wolves inside us all. Every single fucking human on the planet. One is evil. It is anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, lies, inferiority, and ego. Lies and ego. Those are all, hello, viewer number one. Those are all characteristics to do with selfishness. Looking out for number one. That I'll explain that in a minute. The other is good. It is joy, love, peace, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth. They're all about the others. So rather than the self, it's love thy neighbor. Which neighbor? Every fucking human neighbor. Everyone. Without exception. You can hate egos, but you must love humanity. That's the way that we are made. That's the way we should rock and roll. So the boy thought about it and asked, Grandfather, which wolf wins? And the old man quietly replied, the one you feed. And that's there's our moral compass. It's absolute. It's a duality, which is the reality. So the question is, what are these two wolves supposed to represent in reality? Well, the answer is very specific. They are two survival instincts. Right? A survival instinct that's geared towards looking after the self, and it couldn't give a fuck about anything else. And then a survival instinct that's geared towards a survival strategy that's built around being a herd. So in nature, both of these survival strategies are played out. And the one for the herd is like the wildebeest. And the way that they survive is that they keep a close eye on their neighbor to stay in formation. So there's evidence in nature that's very apparent that supports what's being said by the Cherokees. And that is all you need to know in life about spirituality. No fucking thing else. Not one single thing else. That's enough. But you've also got Jesus taught the same teachings in this gospel of Jesus. It's the same story. I promise you, it's exactly the same story. No difference. Just a little bit more detail. And if you're interested in any of those sayings and what they actually mean, I'm quite the expert on it, so I can interpret them accurately for you. All right. Oh, far away. Much ado about fucking nothing, I'd say. Egos and empires, they fuck us over royally. Okay, everybody. Well, every one viewer. Thanks for dropping by. that's it for me. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave the Hangout open, but I might even leave it live, so it'll probably get a bit boring. I'll see if anyone's brave enough to come into Rob's house where Jesus rules. I've been bullied for 3 years by a bunch of internet nuffs. See viewer number one. I've been bullied for 3 years by a bunch of internet nuffs, and I think now they're actually quite scared of me. For some reason, I'm not out to hurt anyone. I just want to get the truth out of the people. But, you know, people are afraid when they've done wrong to tell the truth. Very afraid. But once you do it, once you get used to it, it's not all that bad and it's not all that hard. And you'll find that even your victims will support you. Alrighty. So I'll stop the presentation. Stop. And I'll leave that there. I'll go here. Here we go. I've got my friend, my new friend, Biggie, Cheesy, so he can come in. We learnt something interesting about Cheesy. He's coming up roses. Coming up roses. This Rose seemed to like him. Maybe it was the Pommy accent. Yeah, what do we got here? Mark Taylor, don't know him. Troy Ward, don't know him. Petra, don't know you. Dear oh dear. Silly people. Alrighty. There we go. Go. So what I'm doing today I'm going to shoot up to the docks. Hello, viewer number one. I'm going to shoot up to the docks and just get a physical done. And then I'm going to do something else. Very interesting. That'll be in probably maybe 2 weeks, I think they said. Hello, viewer number one. Wish I could give you a link to come in, but I can't because I don't know who the hell you are. What's happened, the show's sort of almost, well, it's over, basically. I'm just offering the opportunities for some internet bullies to come in and, you know, come clean on their bad behaviours. So if you know any internet bullies or whatever, I wonder how I could actually get this link out. Oh, I know what. No, shit, you can't. Back in YouTube, they're a pain in the ass. You would normally. So what I'll do, I'll actually post it publicly on thing, but they won't know what the fuck's going on, so they won't click on it. It's kind of a waste of time. YouTube need to kick up the ass. They run a shitty ship in terms of, you know, having the features to. Oh, here we go. I'll share this. Let's see what this prick's up to. Okay. I'll give you the link then, PG. So this is Positively Godless, viewers, and he's been a bad lad, and I mean fucking evil. Rose spotted it in you straight away, just like I did. I spotted it in you almost immediately. It's in your eyes. There's your link, dude. You can come in. Come in if you're brave enough. So this guy's one of the bullying cartel. The main one is a guy called Spazwold. I joke. Spazwold or the Almighty. Now, if people go around fucking calling themselves great and almighty, I'd steer clear of them. I'd just let them fucking play with themselves. So he's the main instigator. He started it, and he's been on the campaign all the while. I didn't think that was the case because he almost convinced me that he was a Johnny come lately, but he did what I call fizzing. He fizzed himself. And what he did is he let slip that he was there when Shana Rocky. Now, she was the first nuff I came across. And, you know, if you've got an ego, I pick it out. And usually that gets me a lot of trouble. it's not my fault. I'm just reporting accurately what's happening in people's lives, and I do it out of love. But they, egos go fucking gaga and all silly pants. So when he said that, I thought, oh, you stupid prick, I've got you now. You are actually one of the fucking major causes of this whole shit. So he's become my number one project in terms of setting straight. So he only has two options, like you're going to get too, positively. There are only two options. Oh, and I'm only waiting for Rose to give me the contact details of the agency to report you, and you'll report it. So there's two ways of reporting people at gaslight. One is defamation. That's a legal remedy. And it's easy to prove because the nature of their beast is that they make up stories on the fly. Just like you did with Lukey, Positively Godless. He never sent you a dick pic at all. So you may have got the Rose pattern copy. Now we know what that looks like. So if you produce that as your evidence, you're fucked. So you've defamed Luke Dog. It's up to him whether he takes you legally on. But so there's a legal remedy of defamation, which again is very, 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 very easy to do. The other aspect is the gaslighting charge, where you psychologically abuse another human being. So Positively Godless, we've got you on video doing that, right? When you did that little sting with the makeup of the girl, that's called gaslighting. It is a form of psychological abuse. And in my world view of spirituality, that's the lowest form of act a human can do. If you interfere with a person's spiritual journey, that is the absolute fucking worst, lowest criminal thing you can do. So there's a spiritual aspect, and then there's more of a material aspect. Now, those are the two things that will happen to you without you can fucking back it in. Because if you think I'm alone, I'm not. If you stitch me up, there are 12 people ready, and their task, or at least my request to them, and they will honour it, is that they will come after you and they'll be just as hard as I am. Because I'm as hard as nails when it comes to these issues. Truth is everything to me. Truth or death. Now, so that's that. The other side of the coin is this. You make those public confessions, and they have to be fucking 100% sincere. If you don't make them sincere, then I'll ask you again. But I won't ask too many times before I'll go down the other route. Now, if you make a public apology, for me personally, we're good to go, right? But it's not up to what other people decide to do about it. That is their business. So if Luke wants to, go you for defamation, he'll do it, because we enlightened folks, we do what we want to do. We don't do what you fuckers want us to do. All right, well, I hope that's clear for you, Positively Godless. This is really good timing too. I'm glad you came along at that very, very moment. It's almost like the universe is aligning, to get this stinking, rotten, filthy, predatory, disgusting, what else do they usually say? Disgusting, sadistic, narcissistic behavior fucking wiped off the face of the planet. Because it doesn't only happen on the internet. People do this gaslighting far, far, far too often. Why? Because they're feeding their fucking bad wolf. Egotistical pricks. Now, so that's you done and dusted. So you now know. Okay, all right, no worries. Well, yes, Positively Godless can't join us today, folks. He's at work listening, but he's got the message. That's all we need. Righto. Hey, what time is it over there? Tell me what time it is, please, please, please. Yeah. By choice. So we're just waiting for Positively Godless to nervously tap in the time. It's not that much different here. All right, PG. The other thing I was thinking, if you fuck around with me too much longer, I'm going to find out where you... Well, actually, I think I've found out where you work. Scott something, isn't it? Someone will know your proper name. I'm going to ring that place, right? And it'll be done before this week's out. And I'm going to fucking tell them what you get up to online. So your choice. Choose. Good wolf, bad wolf. That's all. There's no black or grey areas. No fucking third wolf. None of that shit. You mustn't live life as a prick. You must live a life loving thy neighbour, every single fucking person. You owe Luke an apology too, by the way. That was a despicable fucking thing you did to him. Absolutely despicable. I still got some question marks around Luke, so his behaviours aren't 100% either. I only support... He's fucking gone. He's shooting himself now. Well, Positively Godless has left the building. He works for... because he boasted... This is how they fizz themselves. He boasted about working for Prince. That gave me enough details to find out a contact number of his employer. I now have that, and I mean what I say. I will actually ring his employer and inform them to his bad behaviours online. So he better get his shit together real quick. Okay, viewers. No viewers at the moment. Who's next? So I can't join. Yeah, got that. Cancel out of that. What I might do is we might have a look at... Oh, here we go. Oh, he did put the time there. Oh, you're back again, Positively. 3:06 p.m. So that means that most of the Americans won't come near their computers, assuming that they're workers, until for another 3 hours or so. Now they'll have their evening meal, so it'll be 4 hours from now. Hello, viewer number 2. All right, so right. Well, that's okay. So it means that I'll have to probably have this hangout open for an inordinately long time. Not sure I want to do that. Well, let's see how things play out, see if anyone else turns up. Now, Positively, it's very clear to me that you need to fucking get and make that video and make a full confession. Now, here's the other thing too. If you make a full confession and I'm impressed by it, its sincerity, you will have my support. If I'm not impressed by it, you fucking won't. You can do it on your own. Here we go. Here's a prick. Rob, just calm down. Go take a nap or something for a bit. So this is a guy. Hang on, I'll share with you. I'll share, viewers. This is a guy called Cerebus Hex. He's a fucking... Oh, he's an absolute terrible person. A real nightmare. But I have his measure now. So this is him here, right? Cerebus Hex. Cerebus Hex. What else you got there? The world is burning. Yeah, that's him. He's a bit of a fucking poser. Like, he poses around as if he's a good guy, but he's as fucking evil as they come. Now, so is this dude here, Buntu Skiffler. He's a nasty piece of work. So he's saying, Rob, just calm down. I don't think I'm uncalm, whatever that means. Go take a nap. Well, no, I've had two sleeps I had last night. Had to get up middle of the night, but they were two really good sleeps. I feel wonderfully refreshed. And I'm going to the doctors to get a physical today, and then I'm going to see the psychs. That's coming up soon, week or so. So we'll get their expert opinions, not yours. So this guy, this Cerebus Hex, right, he projects that he knows and can observe certain behaviors in humans. I guess it's because he's a fucking Mason or something. I don't know, but you never know with these pricks, you know, what story's true about him. But he says he's a Mason, you know, and I don't like Masons, you know. Anything. So to me, spirituality is a very simple, very, very simple construct between a duality, and that's it. These pricks go through fucking levels to get to be so-called so-called enlightened, but they're not. They're as dumb, spiritually, they're as dumb as all fucking get up. So that's him, Cerebus, the thing. Now, look up here what he says. It looks like Rob blew a few screws out of his head. So he's making a psychological assessment. Thank you, Dr. Cerebus. If you look through the commentary, it's just me responding to a fucking egotistical prick. That's all. That's the true story. Then he goes through 46 comments, and then fucking yesterday, and I've got evidence of this, he just wouldn't leave me alone. He'd keep coming back and yada, 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 bullshit. Same old story, same old story, same old story, blah, 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 blah. Bloody ridiculous. He's a real stalker. So for him, what I'm going to do, I've already contacted the firefighters in Illinois. I don't know whether that goes anywhere because I don't have the prick's name. Now, my name is Rob Beasley. That's who I really am. These people hide behind their little masquerades. So I've already rang those people and given them this identity, and I'll keep going until I get through to someone that knows this person. But again, it's the same story. Two options, right? He's defamatory. Hello, viewer number 3. He's a defamer, so that's a legal remedy. And the other thing, viewers, I'd like you to actually start sharing this particular video of this name and shame of these people. If you've been bullied or victimized or defamed by these people, please, please, please contact me, because I will support you. I will help you to get justice, and I will help you to, I can actually also teach you some very effective methods of actually dealing with these behaviors so that you're never, ever, ever victimized and bullied again. It's these pricks that are in the wrong, not you. So spread the word and let's fucking get these pricks out of the internet. So again, in summary, this guy is liable for defamation, and I've got no doubt about that being the outcome. And the second thing is he has to make a full public, he gaslights. That's very evident. And again, folks, anyone know anything about this Cerebus Hex, let me know. He gaslights. If you don't know what that is, go and look it up on Google. So those are the two charges against him. If he goes public, live, and makes a full and open, honest, authentic apology and confession for everything he's fucking done wrong on the internet, then he's good to go. And I'll support him as well. Although with him, I'll find it a little bit difficult because he really grates my nerve. Same with a guy called Chaswold the Almighty. He really tests my limits. Alrighty, so that's that. What else have we got? Here we go. Positively comes back. I haven't left. I'm still listening. I had to pause. All right, good for you. Nice to know, but positive PG. It's very simple. Fucking apologize publicly. Don't give me any of your bullshit like a written note or anything. You must speak on camera. and I will accept nothing less. All right, Jesus loves me. Yes, he does. All right, now, what else have we got? Here we go. Oh, Biggie's a bit barren. I'll say, come in, Biggie. I see the potential in you. Armando. All right, Armando Vargas is a Christian dude. He seems okay, but there's something edgy about him. Well, let's see if we can get him to come into the room. I think he likes live stuff. There's a lot of, by the way, shit. I mean, in the circle that I unfortunately came in contact with, there's two larger groups. Hello, viewer number 2. There's two larger groups of people. So you've got what's probably called the and apparently Sydney seems to float. Sydney Winston seems to float across the two of them. So there's some weird shit going on, and I don't really understand their motivations yet. I have some ideas, but they have to fully confess, and I'll be able to pick up whether they're fucking lying or not. Alrighty, so I just sent an invite to Vargas. Now, where are we? What's next? I sent an invite to Biggie Cheesy, Pommy dude. Looks like a criminal. Here he is. Come in. Come in and meet the audience, Biggie. He might be embarrassed. He is shy about singing. He plays the guitar, and he's bloody quite good. So on the last show, we had him in, and he was playing his guitar, and he does it just naturally, right? So it's just whatever comes to him, and that's what he plays. And you could feel the authenticity of that. And the guy is afraid to sing, so that's where he's at. So I'm going to fucking make him sing. I think he's okay, actually. But I'll have to wait and hear a bit more. And if I think he's not okay, I'll just say, oh shit, mate, I'll go and get some fucking lessons before you go live. But if he's good, I'll encourage him, because that's what his passion is. That's where his love is at. He's going to say something to us now. What did he say? So this is what Biggie says. Add me because I'm doing the same as yesterday and it's empty. Oh, okay. We seem to have this fucking problem with him coming in. Okay, well, add him. How do I do that? So here, big. Geez, there he is. Got him. Try that. Okay, well, that'll be good if that works. That's it. There's a bit more to Cheesy than meets the eye, I think. It's still a bit of a mystery. But in my world, so Rob's house, Rob's rules, you've got to be fucking authentic all the time. And you might think, oh, do I fucking have to? Well, yes, if you want to attain enlightenment in this world, and I've attained it, you've got to be authentic. Hey, dude. Hey, Big Cheesy. Welcome. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Hello.
Hello. Do it again.
Live?
Yeah, live. That's right. So put your clothes on.
See, now what is it with these live hangouts? I like secretism.
Say again. Say that again.
No.
Well, get back then. All right. So this is my current student, Big Cheesy. He's coming along really well. I might hand him over to Rose to sort you out, Cheesy. You'll notice that
I don't need handed over to anyone.
Well, let me be the judge of that. Hey, what did you think of Rose? Did you like Rosie?
Yeah, she's nice.
Yeah, she's a good one, no doubt about it. We've only got one viewer, mate. Things are a bit quiet. What is it in England? What's the time over there? Hello?
9:20.
AM or PM? PM, right?
PM.
Yeah. So, in England, we've got to wait about bloody 4 hours to get the fucking Yanks on board. And then we've got to wait, and it'll be real late for the bloody Brits. You haven't seen Tom Arter around, have you? That arsehole.
No.
No, good. We like short answers.
It's not that. I'm in work. It's noisy. So I keep muting myself.
Yeah, all right. I'll do whatever.
And on top of that, I'm busy. So I keep putting my phone in my pocket. That's why there's delays in my answers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's coming across okay. All right, so what else can we do? What else can we look at here? So we looked at, so this is the Jesus stuff, right? Promise you, 100%. It maps perfectly to that duality. Actually, I'll show you a spooky one. It's a little bit hard to first grasp. What it says is, Jesus said, lucky is the lion that the human will eat, so that the lion becomes human. And foul is the human that the lion will eat, and the lion will still become human. What the fuck does that mean? Well, here's what it means. Lucky is the ego that the human consumes. So in other words, you destroy your ego. Hello, viewer number 2. So that the lion becomes human. And foul is the human. So the human's life is a misery that the ego will consume. So the ego dominates the self, or dominates the human. And the ego still will become human, because the reality is this: the instincts that we have for survival of the self and survival of the herd, the two elements that cause all spirituality, never leave us. They're always there. So if you're on a desert island, and or if me and Big were on a desert island and there was only one bit of food to eat, I'd have to destroy him to survive. He disagrees because he's got big muscles.
Survival of the fittest, right? Survival of the fittest.
Well, in circumstances where economics are such that there aren't any other options, but if you've got options within economics, it must.
On you, that's what I do.
Hey, what?
If I had to stick an arm wrestle on you for a cheeseburger, that's what I do.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to, though. You just do it out of ego and pride. That in that scenario, we're talking about where the economics are available to us to not make that choice. I'm talking about the economical situation where we don't have any other choices. We either kill the other person or, So, but if the economic situation is such that it's that one option is that you can all get a slice of the pie, then that's the choice you make. Spiritually, if you're going to be spiritually authentic. Hey, Biggie, Do you love Rose? Do you love Rose?
Well, I see where you go with it, but I'm just going to say no, because I don't say I love people that I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but I know you do love her. She's a very lovable young woman because she's spiritually authentic.
You do, don't you? I see you go all moist whenever a woman comes on the chat.
No, blokes too. Like I do tell you I love you, don't I? But not in a gay way.
I've noticed.
You might be gay, but I'm not. I was very impressed with the music, by the way.
Yeah.
No, what you say is thank you.
Yeah, cool. Cheers, man. I appreciate it. I still say I'm shit.
No. You got something special going on. You're very well connected when it comes to that music. Now, maybe you got to practice a bit more or whatever. And you haven't had the balls to sing to us yet, which you've got to do. Because I'll tell you if it's any good, or I'll tell you if it's crap and that you need to go get some lessons. But, you know, why fucking live a life? Fucking, you want to. I know you want to do the singing. Why live a life? Because you're fucking scared. Even with your big muscles. So what we can do, dude, is get another hang with Rosie over, and this time sing for real. And I promise you, we'll both give you our feedback honestly, because we're honest people. We might even get you a spot on her show. She's got a lot of fucking viewers, you know. I didn't know that it was that big. She's got big numbers that watch her shows.
It's just not going to happen. I've been playing guitar since I was 15 years old, and I still don't sing to this day. So I'm not going to
do it tomorrow, then. But get it fucking done. Well, you know, you'll be like that, and then you'll fucking drop dead. You don't get a second chance in life, my friend. You just do it for us, right? Because we, you know, we won't laugh at you unless we think it's funny. We know it's important to you, so we will give you that respect. That's serious. I'm not joking. Because I joke a bit and I muck around a lot, but when I'm serious, I'm deadly serious. 2 viewers. Hello, viewer number 2. Who's that fucker? That's him. That's the man. I don't know whether this is appropriate or not. Now, I might have to be, you know, Tom's fucking let me down, so I might have to be a bit tough on him. Hello, viewer number 3. Just me and Biggie chilling. In about a week's time, Biggie's going to be doing a big show. He's going to let it all hang out. Now, you don't have to practice, Biggie, because that's the way you rock, you roll, you play. What do they call that? Is that an archipelago or a pelicanigo? What is it? What's the word for when you just play from the spirit, from the soul?
Well, I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy, but I'd say either jamming or improvising.
Yeah, that's right. But you just, it just comes from the head to the instrument, right? Or whatever. Hey, three viewers. Not a lot of happening, but I tell you, viewers, if you want to go back and watch the live show, you know, when it's stopped, I think you'll find something very, very interesting. So what the show was about is I hate fucking Islam. I hate it with a fucking passion. But at the same time, I love Muslims. I love Muslim peoples. So that's what the show's about. And I present reasons why hello, viewer number 4. I present reasons why I hate Islam. See you, viewer number 4. I think people, when you mention hating Islam, people sort of get a little worried, you know, that someone's going to jump out from behind the bushes and chop your head off. Well, that's another reason to hate Islam. You shouldn't do that to other humans. I mean, if that's their God, he's a fucking right wacko. So, viewers, we might go quiet for a little bit. Hang on, wait a minute. Who's that? Don't know you. We might go a little quiet. Like, I've got some breakfast to have. Cheesy's got some work to do. We don't care. We just do what we got to do. So, Cheesy, that's what makes me think that your spirituality is reasonably good, because you are a person that does what he fucking wants to do. But you still got issues in my book. It's not a bad thing. You just got to face up to them, get them, piss them off. Hey, Cheesy, I've got a question for you. Cheesy, woo. So what I'm looking at here, that's my my love life friend, Rose. She's a special lady. This is Skiffler here. This one here. He's a fucking nightmare. None of them will come into my room. They're just so fucking afraid. They're terrible, scared, fucking bully people. Now, who's that dude? Oh, that's Armando. He's down corner. So I want to get a hold of that prick today. I just wanted to see what he's up to. Is he still playing the game? Because and the fact that he's not around is a little bit of a concern to me. A little bit of a concern. That's Rose just posted that thing of a cat farting. That's Lukey Dog. Now, Luke Dog is an interesting case. Positively godless. Is going to fucking apologise soon because he defamed him very, very badly. But Luke's done some questionable things which he won't fucking talk about, so can't really associate with him at the minute. That dude there is a dude called Thrash Metal Wrestling. He's also known as Lammy. And he runs with a bunch of bloody young kids that egged our house here in Australia under the careful tutelage of Bulldog, John May. Bulldog 101 is his handle, but I call him Bull Dud, because he's a fucking nightmare. Now, they claim that I'm a pedo, which couldn't be further from the truth, and that's been explained 1,000 times. But this guy is a real true pedophile. He asks young boys to pull their penises out while they're online, and then he asks them to masturbate. And of course, the boys didn't do it, thankfully, but, you know, when you hear his voice, you can see he's sort of doing it. Now, they're plotting, as usual, 3. Hello, viewers number 3. So I'm expecting that I'm going to have to walk through some more fires of hell. I'm expecting that today. So, viewers, watch this space. Could be an interesting ride today. They think they've got me, so let's see what they've got. Ah, there we go. This guy here. Fucking hell. Manus from heaven. Aha. Hey, are you there, Biggie?
Yeah.
All right, this has come. Remember that Squire 7 dude at all? Do you know him? He's a pom.
No.
Okay, what he said, he was looking at your playing, and he said, "Ha ha ha ha, Barry Bolton on guitar." So he's mocking you. But I wouldn't worry about it because he's an asshole, right? I mean, you know, you're miles and miles and miles ahead of this low-life prick. He's on the list. So now, because he's defamed you, right? He's defamed you. He's given himself up. Not allowed to defame people, arsehole. Now, where are you? Particularly when you're wrong. Ho, 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 ho. There's Christian Hillbilly, viewers. I'll invite him in. But he gets a bit cranky pants. He'll call me a child molester, but then I'll argue with him. And if he fucks, I'll let him make his accusation, because you should never run from the truth. And then I'll defend my position, because if I know Christian Hillbilly, he'll just want to, you know, search and destroy, or whatever it is they do. It's very interesting at the moment. It's sort of going at a nice pace, actually. I thought we'd be sitting here doing fuck all, but it just seems that they're all starting to wiggle out of the, I don't know, wiggle out of their holes. Oh, hello. Now, who else have we got? Graham, how the fuck did he? Oh, no. They changed that title to gaslighting. That's a good thing. Very good. Well done. So, viewers, talk up the term gaslighting. Spread it around every fucking where. Everywhere. You have no idea how important. I didn't realise how important it fucking was. Firstly, it applied to me, and I thought, that's a perfect fit. But actually, it's a fucking global problem. And if we fucking knock it out, it advances people spiritually. It really does. It really, really does. So it's much, much, much bigger and more important than you might first imagine. I feel like playing... Hello, viewer number 4. I feel like playing John Lennon's piece now. Imagine. Hello, viewer number 5. Just me and Biggie chilling. He's at work. Otherwise, we could get him on the guitar. Anyone know where down fucking corner is? I need to speak to that prick today. That's Lukey. We spoke about him. This is my sweetheart, Rosie. Rob's vendetta. That's not true. Tom, Dan, and Christian. So we're hanging with Christian Hillbilly. Back in the days before Tom and I had a falling out because of the fucking lies of the gaslighters. Oh, hey, that's it. Interesting. That's new. What's that? Terry Winslow. I know who don't get it. Your mother. I don't even know that prick. Dear, oh dear. Sensitive little egos. They're fucking a nightmare. Give them no quarter. And here we go. This is Holly and Rose. Holly and Rose. Holly and Rose. Wasn't that a song, Biggie? Or maybe it should be. You can write it. Yeah, Holly's a lady that pisses me off greatly. I gave her a good talking confidence. She's got all this delusional shit going on in her life, and it's just all fucking made up in her head. I don't care what anyone says now. I'm very clear about that, and I don't entertain the idea of beliefs. So because you believe something, it's okay to make that part of your reality. No fucking way. Big problem. You may as well fucking kill yourself or give yourself a kick in the ass from a spiritual perspective. So Holly, I don't know the catalyst, but there is some drama in the early family days and being left with grandma. And I guess that's the trigger that makes the delusional reality. But when she tells the story, it's not correct because, there's no way known you can remember in detail what happened at 3. You just can't. It's bullshit. You can remember key, small, little incidents that maybe are some possibly. I mean, in my case, the earliest memories I've got are 7. When Mum dragged me to the fucking church and tried to tell me that angels were real things. So, you just know when stuff's crap. And so, unfortunately, this girl lives this lie. Oh, here we go. Now, you behave yourself. Or you'll get fucking kicked out. Yeah, bloody hell. Rob's house, Jesus rules. You follow Jesus rules or you get kicked. Okay. Be careful. I got a trigger finger.
Kick me out if you don't like me.
Well, I will. I'm just telling you that.
Don't bother me a bit.
No, hey,
Robbie
Christian,
boy.
hang on. Christian Hillbilly, I love you. That's genuine. But I hate fucking egos.
You are a hypocrite. That's genuine.
I hate beliefs. Sorry, go ahead.
I said you are a hypocrite, and that is genuine.
No. You're a worse hypocrite than me.
Preach, friend. You don't even understand what you preach.
Hey, what? The viewers didn't hear you, Hillbilly. Way you go. Say it again.
Viewers, there's only what? Dog man in here.
Four viewers.
You're a hypocrite, Robbie. That's what I said.
No, it's not true. I made my mistake and I fucking owned up. I'm allowed to get on with my life.
How did you own up if you didn't apologize to the person that you're wrong, to the family that you're wrong? That's what you tell people to do to get their everything now, Robbie, isn't it? Isn't it, Robbie? Isn't that what the case is? No. You're the one that said that's how you get spiritual. That's how you get everything. Isn't that right, Robbie? Come on now.
Yeah. Right, now I've got to shut you up for a minute, dude. Now, hello, viewer number 6, viewer 6. So what he's talking about, right, this is fucking about the 1,000th time I've gone over this thing. Now, I truly am spiritually enlightened, which means that I understand spirituality perfectly. Not only that, I'm actually able to identify it in other human beings. You wouldn't know
spirituality if it bit you in the butt.
Hang on, let me speak. Shut up. I'll kick you out and I'll have my speech. Don't worry about it.
Your idea of spirituality is different for you than it is for everybody else.
Well, I warned him. So, anyway, viewers, this is what happened. Right? I do truly consider myself enlightened. Now, if you want to test that, go for your fucking life, but make sure that you know what it is first. Now, the next thing, I'm able to actually pick whether people are spiritually enlightened or not. I can do that. So what happened, we were on the internet, and there's me and this guy called Benny the Gangster. Now, he won't confirm it because he's a fucking crook that belongs to these bullying cartels. There's a kid that came along, and we didn't know initially that it was a kid that came into the room, but he comes in and he wants to show off, and I didn't know how old he was. I did know that he was young, right? But I didn't know what age. He shows off this car racing game that he programmed. And because I know a bit about programming, I was quite impressed. I thought, fucking hell. And he said he did it in 4 weeks. And I thought, fucking hell, how do you do that? That's brilliant. Because if you know anything about coding, they take years to develop stuff. So that engaged me in an interesting thing. And then I just started observing his behaviors and what he was saying. And I quickly determined that he was, see it, Biggie, I quickly determined that he was spiritually enlightened at the age of 15. If you think that's not possible, I'll show you a fucking video of a 6-year-old girl, well, I think she's 6, and she's more mature than her parents. So this spiritual reality is with us all the while. Hello, viewer number 2. It just is. So I had this idea, right? I don't know why I had this idea at this particular bloody point in time, but I just did. Hello, viewer number 3. And the idea was this. And now we're adults. I'm hoping that you're adults that we're talking to now. And if not, too bad, too sad, because I don't think any of this is harmful at all. In fact, it's actually quite loving, and it's I think it's actually a great way to give sex ed talks. But I had this idea that true love must come first. That's spiritually authentic. So in other words, if you're going to have a sexual relationship with any human being, true love must be the primary condition, must be established. If you want to have a good and respectful relationship. And then the secondary part of it was you masturbate. Now, hang on, I better make sure that I make this fucking clear because people don't get this reality. Humans masturbate. Hello, 4 viewers. Humans masturbate themselves, right? No one comes along with a fucking rule book and says, this is how you do it. Mum and dad probably in most cases don't. Well, certainly mum and dad come later, so they don't do it when it actually occurs. Don't give the people a rule book on masturbation. So we become quite quickly experts in our body's sexual function. So that's the way things work, right? So there's no context of me talking to this guy about masturbation at all, because it never fucking happened. But these lying gaslighters, they turn everything around and they say that you're masturbating the person. So not like John May. John May actually asked the boys, and you could hear it. You know, he says, pull the gherkin out, which is a euphemism for penis. Give it a rub. So that's a reference to masturbation. So there's no context for that at all in my discussion with this 15-year-old. So what happened was this. I was thinking about doing, talking to him about it, and fucking Benny egged me on, and so I decided to do it because of his spiritual maturity. And I mean this when I say it. This kid is far, 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 far more mature than half the fucking humans on the planet at his age of 15. So the first thing I asked the kid, I said to the kid, what's true love? He understood, and I knew that he understood exactly what it is. So what true love is this natural phenomenon. We don't create it intellectually. It fucking exists. Just like a tear of joy, same phenomenon. Right? These things exist in humans. You don't make them. What you do is you get rid of your fucking selfish nature, and they're there. They just happen. They long to love all humanity. The love thy neighbor rule that everyone fucking knows. So he knew that. He understood exactly what that meant. And I said, do you love because it was his new girlfriend? Yes. And then I said, does she love you? Because it's important that it's two-way. And he said, yes. So he'd obviously chosen wisely at 15. And then I said, so I said, it's primary. You must have love, true love first, if you're to have a good spiritual life. Then I said, explore each other's bodies. He's a fucking smart kid. He's masturbated himself so he can work the rest out. I don't have to talk about masturbation at all, and I didn't. And my wife is a witness to that. Then, after it was over, after Benny egging me to do it, after it was over, I thought, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. That's not the right thing to do. That should be his father's doing that, because I, potentially think. But having said that, I have nothing that, personally, for me, I got nothing to apologize for. The context was spiritually accurate and authentic, so I'm comfortable with that. His dad will probably have the talk anyway in his own good time, so there's no problem there at all. So if I miss something, his dad will cover it off. And I don't think heart of hearts that his father, if he listened to his son, because the son would be smarter than the father. Hello, viewer number 5. Hello, viewer number 4. If smarter than the father, then I just honestly don't see the problem. I just don't. I don't get it. It was very respectful spiritually. It was just saying explore each other's bodies, because why? We're the masters of our own domains, and people don't do that, I think, enough. They just hit sex with their own sexual agenda without thinking about their partner. And true love means that you think about the other person. Well, not only think about it, you love that other person, so you want them to have a great experience. So that's the true story, right? Hillbilly, because he's got his fucking nose out of joint, wants to make because I think spiritually I'm actually throwing him into a bit of a tiz, because I've spoken to him about what spiritually is. I tell him that there's no fucking God, and I tell him that I know Jesus better than he'll ever know him. And I think that goes up against his identity. It sort of mucks with him, or brings out his little ego monsters. So that's my story. Hello, viewer number 4. His story, right? And so he calls me a hypocrite for that. I'm not a fucking hypocrite, because I recognized, a small problem. And again, you've got to look at the context, the maturity of the kid and everything. And what I did is I stopped it immediately, because I thought, no, this is not right. Benny's fucking wrong. So that's me. Now let's have a look at him. Let's look at him now. He's felt comfortable in examining me. Let's look at him now. Right? The guy fucking went out and screwed around. So he's a Christian dude. Went out and had some sex, etc., when he was married. And his wife left him. I bet you he didn't apologise. Jesus Christ. That's far, far, far fucking worse. You don't do that shit to a human. You got a person that loves you dearly. You don't go rooting around. So that's the true story, everybody. Now, if we had to stay here, one of his stupid little tactics is that he picks on a point, and he won't allow that's why he yabba. He won't allow anything to occur around that point, a point he thinks he's got you on, right? The kid's in fucking Canada. I haven't seen him for years, for almost a year. I do know his account. it's still active, but he hasn't been online for a bit. So I still wouldn't apologise. I'd just go to the kid and say, "How you doing, mate? How's things going?" And that's that. If his dad's got a fucking issue, I'd be happy to front up to his dad, no problem at all. But personally, from my perspective, it was purely spiritually authentic, and that's that. So he'll hang on. Did you apologise? I'll say no, and then he'll say, "That's fucking appalling." And if I say, "Did you leave your wife, or did you play up on your wife?" He'll say, "Yes, but it's not as bad as what you did." I fucking told the kid about true love. He knew it anyway. So that's not an issue. So it's got to be the other thing. I told him that it's a good idea to explore each other's bodies. So that's the only thing he can hang me on. You fucking prick. Okay. Anyway, there we go. Now he'll probably chomp at the bit and he'll be like a fucking pest for years now. But that's not my problem. All right. Biggie ran away. I don't know what his story is. Maybe he just doesn't like hearing about sex talks. Who knows? So for viewers, we're sort of caught. Oh, what I'll do, I'll just keep going through this shit and introduce the crew, the people that either torment me or love me. So here we've got, don't know that Peric. No, fuck it, duck. Right. Sharon. Sharon's a lovely lady. I just met her the other day. Had a good talk. Slip's a funny fucking character. I haven't worked him out yet. Stephen Hawkes. Now, if that's that old prick, I'm an old prick too, by the way. But this one's an arrogant old prick. There's Thomas. He's a friend of mine. A little bit of a question mark around him, but I think he's a good bloke. Toasty's okay. Tom's an arsehole, but I love him to bits. Right. So cancel that. That's Rosie. The Beasley Chronicles. See if I can get these. Who's that? Now, there's another one of their victims, Ryan. I'd like to get a hold of Ryan. He's a flat earther. Fuck a duck again. I've seen that too many times, I think. Yeah, this John Brian Pearson's a bit of a mystery bag. There's young Ryan. Now, Ryan's a flat earther, and I think Rose is too. But who gives a fuck? You know, if you want to think that, it doesn't mean anything in the spiritual context. Just leave them be. But no. These gaslighters have got to have their fun. So they gaslit Ryan and really drove him to the point of despair. They do it. They try and do it with the science dude, Patrick Fester. I'm sure that there's more things. And I saw them going to work on a guy called Roy something. So I asked to have a chat to him, to give him a heads up. He thinks he's handling it well, but he's not, because what he's doing is just trying to play the fucking matey game with him. Fuck him, kick him in the ego nuts. That's what I say. So that's that crew. What's Big G saying? No, crap. Now, they're all scheming and plotting. They're all scheming and plotting at the moment. There's only two things that I could think that they'd do. So what I did, and I did this, it's true. Can't help myself getting into fucking trouble. And I can explain it. I'm not going to explain it now. I'll wait for their video. But I asked ladies to show their titties, boobs. And I did. My wife knows about it. She was actually here. And she knows the real reason I was doing it. But I'll explain that. So that's one thing that the pricks could be up to. The second thing is getting me sectioned, because those threats have been made. So now they've got to put up or shut up. what that means is they ring Mercy Hospital here in Australia, and they somehow fucking convince them that I need to get some psychological stuff. Then they lock you up for anything up to 19 days. Hello, 5 viewers. And that's what they do. So I've got it on video, and I've given it to my friends online that they've actually done that, or that's their plan. So there's problems for them, things, but I've also started an action, a suit against Mercy, because I think with great conviction that I can actually get them on malpractice, because there's some really questionable things about the second visit. Very, very, very questionable. Get back in here, Biggie. Or not, whatever you choose. You're a man of your own choosing. 5 viewers, righto. So, what was the third thing? The third thing. So you got the titties, you've got the hospital. I don't know, maybe some other shit, but I couldn't give a fuck. They can do whatever they like. I mean, their form is delusional, so it'll be delusional, and I'll spot it. I'll be able to pick it up really easily, and I'll be able to address it. The fucking problem is whether people believe me. But I don't give a fuck. I think I've done enough now. I mean, I'm really, really near the end of the journey with these pricks. I'm more interested now in going after Islam than I am spending any more real time with them. They know the rules of the game. They know exactly what they got to do, and the only way I'll engage them is if I'm bored, or if I feel it's of something. Hello, 6 viewers. So that's the only way I'll engage these pricks. But of course, they're always, always, always welcome to Rob's house, but Jesus' rules apply. And they apply very strictly. Fuck off. So you want to deal with me in fucking life, you've got to be authentic 100%. Otherwise, go fucking annoy someone else. Okay, so I was just going to see. Oh, you know why? I was going to see if I could show you the real main protagonist. The guy called the number 1 on my list is a guy called Spazwold Almighty. The number 2 on my list is a guy called this is their labels, Cerebus Hex. The number 3 on my list is Bulldog 101. The number 4 on my list is a guy called Frank Green, who's a so-called fucking professional behavioural therapist. He's a piece of work, let me tell you. The number 5 or 6, wherever we're at, is Sugar Rhodes. She's a spiritual fucking thief. I hate that behaviour. The number 6 is down corner. I want to really revisit him again and his public confession, and just double check things are all right, because his behaviour last night was a little bit sus. 7 would be Holly, just for compassion reasons, and I'll kick her hard in the nuts, in the ego nuts, and just see if that doesn't shake and rattle and roll and get that bullshit out of her head. Oh, here we go. Okay, here's some of those people. So, St. Tommy, he's on the fucking list. I call him Tommy now because I took his sainthood away. Fucking sleazebag he is. Benji, the main whatever, that's Benny the ball, so he's on the list. Fucking hell, it's a long list, isn't it? But I can take care of all of them. Down corner, I spoke about Green Soul Sufi. So this is Frank Green. Don't know that person. These people intrigue me somewhat. John Brian Patterson. I don't. No, I'm not that fucking interested in Zibby. Made in Alexandria. Who gives a fuck? There's Patrick. Pat. I'd love to see him vindicated by these apologies. Really, really would. Sugar Roads, there's the spiritual vampire. Toasty, a little bit of work to do with Toasty yet. Still not quite convinced where we're at with him. Tom Arter, he's his own man, so nothing to do with him at all. He's going to be fine. It's just that at the moment, he's pissed off with, how they framed that sex talk we spoke about. All right. Tom, blah, blah. Hanks. Who's this fucking lot? All right, Bathtub Guy. So if you ever see fucking Bathtub Guy, well, he's gonna have to fucking get rid of that account down corner. It's a fucking appalling one. It's a sort of like a psycho spin. So that's down corner, aka Kevin Pack. Kevin Pack. Benny the Gangster. Benny the Gangster's on the list. He's got a lot of information. His role was to run around. He was like the wingman, causing all the fucking trouble. He was the dialer. He dialed all the prank calls. So these fucking 50 and 70-year-old fucking pricks are doing prank calls. My damn goodness. Fucking hell. Grow up. Fuck a duck. I'm just interested in meeting that person. Gary Winston, whatever. I don't know him. Hank, I've met Hank. Hank's a lovely dude. He's a cool dude. So everybody love Hank. Jane Watkins, don't know. James Baldwin, I know. He's a really nice fella. Nice young dude, right? Very, very switched on, very spiritually mature. Just a little bit edgy on his trust, because the trust thing comes later. You've got to get your confidence up. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully it happens. Like Rose is a young'un, and she's very, sorted with who to trust and who not to trust. There's that Patterson dude again. Stephanie Nicole, don't know. Oh, that's made me think of, hello, Six Viewers. That bloody Katie Moonshine, or whatever she's fucking name is. She's on the list. That bitch told a black and white lie about me, and as soon as she told it, I thought, right, this is the precursor to the titty show. There's Thomas again. Vanilla Ice. Probably a bad dude, but I can't remember. All right. Cluck, 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 cluck. Here we go. This is important. Right, I see that dude there. That one. That's the 15-year-old kid. Now, interestingly, this is another kid. He was 19, I think, or 20. This is what they did to me on this one. So this kid is autistic, and he used to hang around this fucking bully pack, and they would piss him off or make fun of him, or certainly not engage with him intellectually. So, me being me, I spent time with him. And it was really interesting, well, particularly because I'm interested in autism. And down corner says that he's possibly autistic. That worries me a little. I want to fucking find out more about that. But anyway, so this guy, we would just spend a bit of time chatting away. Now, he's Christian. That's his background. And he believes that shit, unfortunately. But I don't interfere with people's beliefs. Not at a personal level, right? I don't think that's appropriate. But at a fucking global level, I will argue very, very strongly against all beliefs. Beliefs and egos don't have a place in this world. They don't even fucking exist, for crying out loud. That's why they're called beliefs. So Brandon and I were talking, And he's really interesting. He's well read, so he knows shit. He knows stuff, but also he had this uncanny knack. As soon as I jump on, bang, he'd appear like out of the blue. And I probably had things I wanted to do, and normally normal folks would say, "Well, fuck off, leave me alone. I'm going to do this." But that's not what I do. I saw his situation, but sorry. So he really enjoyed my company. He showed me these pictures of his dog. So he was very much in love with his dog. Hey, Biggie, welcome back. Hang on. Yeah. So what happened was his mum, showing broadcast. So what happened was his mum, right, being a Christian, must have been sort of keeping an eye on things, and she said, "I don't want him to talk with you anymore." And immediately, although I didn't want to, because I knew the value I represented to him, because you do get socially isolated, with these conditions, I just honoured the mother's request and, left it at that, and haven't spoken to the kids since. So that's me. That's my story. And it is the true story. These fucking gaslighters, what they did with that, they say he's a pedophile, right? Because of this behaviour. No, not at all. Not fucking at all. It's a loving thing that I did for someone that gets disrespected, and they fucking shouldn't be disrespected. That's all that happened. So you'll see the likes. His phone's dropping out, or else he thinks I'm a pedophile. So that's exactly what happened. Brandon can validate that. He does have a little bit of trouble with communications, but I think he could validate that. And his mother certainly could validate what her position was and why she said what she did. So, I respected the family straight away, and just left it at that. And that's what I did. But these pricks. So what's a lady called Amy Woodsy? I call her Fat Amy, but it's not. I don't know whether she's fat or not, but I just do it to stir her. And not her per se, but her ego. She actually, is trying to. What they do is they ask the questions. The question is, what did the mother say? And of course, the answer to that is leave him alone, or don't communicate with him. But they'll then use that. This is how cunning they are. They're fucking cunning as all get up. I call it rat cunning. That's what they'll do. But I won't answer a yes or a no question like that. I just won't. What I'll demand is time to give the full explanation. I won't allow them to fucking railroad me. That's called railroading. Hello, viewer number 3. All right, so that's that. I think we're actually done now. Actually, what I should have done when Biggie was there is get him to get the fucking link into this room where these people go. Oh, here's another person. Whoa. This person's really, really interesting. Hello, viewer number 4. She goes by the name of Rainbow Warrior. Very pretty young lady. But fucking hell, is she spiritually switched on? She's like a ball of fire. She came in and cleaned the shop with the boppy lot. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention that before, did I? So there's a crew in England, there's a crew in America, and then there's 2 crews in America. All 3 of them I'm engaged with, and I'll beat the fucking lot of them. I'll wipe their bad behaviours from the internet. This girl can do it standing on her ears. She's fucking far better than me. Far, far, far better. Very impressive woman, that lady. I'm trying to get a hold of her. So if anyone knows the lady, I just want to meet her. Just a short little meeting. Shouldn't take long. But I'd like to encourage her because I think she's an activist, which is what I want to be. Oh, shit, sorry. That's what I want to be. So I want to try and see if she's interested in forming a force to be reckoned with. Alrighty, now I think that'll do. I think that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. What's this one here? Just look at this list. Okay. That's Mum's account. Big cheesies there. Billy Sykes. Not sure about him. Town corner we fucking know about, but we've got to just double check him. Gimmick's a lovely fella. Now he's a guy that's autism as well. So it's really interesting how things evolve and play out. It's almost like we were meant to fucking meet. Onyx is an interesting dude. Lady Stardust. Oh, Lady Stardust. That's Dan Corner's supposed lady love. I think she does love him, but he fucking doesn't respect her. So that's got to change. Onyx 2K. Yeah, just interested in that person. Stephanie Nicole, can't remember. Yeah, there's that Stephen Hawkes. I think it is that old fucking arrogant prick. That's probably it. I was take a good hard look in the mirror, shouldn't I? That's me. There's that bitch Sugar Rose. Oh, she could have stopped this whole fucking process, right? What happened to her? She got bullied. I stepped in to defend her and look after her. And then when it come time for her to fucking pay back and tell the truth story so that at least I wasn't on my own, she fucking shot me. Bloody bitch. Terrible, terrible, bad behaviour. Tomato. Alrighty. I think that's enough. There's a lot more players in this. I mean, you might think, fucking hell, that's a few. It's fucking bigger than this. This is only the tip of the iceberg because I've sort of blocked these accounts. Fizzy's on the list. Yeah, it's a big list. A guy called JD Kane, if you ever come across him, arrogant, fucking lying prick. And he's a professional, apparently. He's on the list. Fucking hell, it has got big, hasn't it? Oh, not to worry. Hopefully you can see that I'm able to intellectually fucking keep a good record of every single person. I know exactly what they did wrong, and I know exactly if they're telling the truth when they make these full confessions that I'm asking for. Or else it's off to jail for them, or off to a nut house for them. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I get thrown into the nut house, into a mental institution. Still to this day, don't think that the diagnosis was correct, and that's why I'm going to do that's not why, that's because I'm doing that. I'm actually off to the lawyers today to sort of just find out fine-tune how we're going to run this process. After I go for a bit of a walk, and when things go quiet here. So what I do is, and all right, fucking people may not get it, but I act out of true love all the fucking time. These pricks act out of ego, and it's very harmful and damaging. They do great harm. Far, 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 far. I don't do any fucking harm. They do, harm far, far worse than me. They just do. Oh, Simon the Drunk. Mark the Annoyer. Just a few others that are on the list. Fizzy, fizzy, fizzy drink. Right, so in my opinion, from a purely spiritualist point of view, these people need to be fucking all locked up, the whole fucking lot of them. The whole lot of them, in terms of their impact on humanity. And I'm the last one that you would want to lock up, I think. Well, that's my viewpoint. So it's a funny fucking world we live in. I'll call it the funny farm. And you guys are on the fucking funny farm. You're on the inside. Yeah, so I'm just going to take a breather. I'm going to leave it open. You never know what might happen. and I'm just going to have a break. Talk amongst yourself. So what I was doing then, I hop around their sites to see if they're, because what these bullies do is they create videos against you to gaslight you. If you think that's wrong, or if you think I'm lying, go to my channel and you'll see exactly how I deal with that problem. What I do is they initiate the action. It's always them that starts things. They'll try and tell you, nah, Rob's the fucking problem. Nah, no way. They start the video and you can check timestamps, whatever. It'll clearly show that they do the video. Then what I do is, and they broadcast a position, then I will come along and I will grab that video like I'm doing just now, and then I'll run a commentary over the top of it. The interesting phenomenon is they've really shut down. They've really shut down broadcasting their behaviors. They've finally fucking woken up that, hey, hey, if we put it out on the internet, we're going to get caught out, because that's exactly what I do. Again, think not. Go and have a look at the videos on the Good Wolf channel. I don't think I mentioned Sydney being on the fucking list, but he's near the top. This guy's name is Sydney Schneider, the internet rock spider. Now, Sydney lives in Canada. I know that much. He's a fucking, get this, the guy's a Satanist. Who would ever want to work for a dude that's going to fucking burn you for eternity? So then he says, I'm an atheist, and he's a Satanist. I mean, fuck me. What the hell's going on here? What sort of weird prick is he? But again, 75-year-old prick, basically gaslighting people for entertainment. Why do people gaslight? They get a buzz or feedback in that behavior that helps them or makes them feel superior than other human beings. And it's a false superiority too. And it can be, shown clinically that it's false. So again, 75-year-old fucker tormenting people. And you think I'm lying? Go watch Thomas versus the Haters, or Tom versus the Hater on the Benny channel. Fuck me, why people can't see this form of abuse? Well, I guess the reason is egos are prolific, but also it happens because people are fucking drama queens. They like watching people, it's the old Colosseum story. People like watching other people getting fucking torn to shreds. Think I'm joking? Think again. Think of the World Championship Wrestling, even though that's bullshit, tearing to shreds. Do your mic check, Sydney.
them when videotape was kind of coming around.
A fucking lawyer? Okay, just wanted to point out something that to me is very obvious. Right, so down here, this is Sydney Winston. This is the channel we're actually watching. And that's interesting. It sort of brings up. This is me. They've mocked it up. Well, I never fucking got put into a straitjacket. They've done a mock-up of me. Sydney does this shit all the time. I don't know what that's all about. This is another one of his bullying victims. And me again. So just a quick little insight. I mean, think about this, right? If you're a compassionate human being, right, what you do if someone's got issues is that you try and support them. These pricks will do everything to unsettle them first, and then at the tail end of the thing, they'll say, oh, yeah, but we are acting. We did do it now. We do care, blah, 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 blah. They couldn't give a fuck about anybody. They, if they had a gun in their hand and you're in the room, they shoot you without even batting an eyelid. Then they turn back to their caviar or whatever. Just saying. Noel. Yeah, I was just saying, I forgot to put the bloody mic back on. That'll go down well. This lady's got an ego thing shit going on, big time. And I ran across her and another young Russian dude, or he lives near Russia, and he was enlightened, at about the age of 20, so very impressive. And then he spoke about this depression for 3 years, and the reason he has depression is not his fault. It's got nothing to do with him. But when when you're a truth teller and you point out, the errors in the egoic behaviors, people fight that. They carry on a truth. I mean, if you could see the discussion that we had yesterday with this lady, you'd see exactly what I mean. But stay on the Rob channel or the Good Wolf channel, because maybe some of them might actually get up the courage to come into the house, and then I'll be able to demonstrate. I'll say it up front exactly the behaviours we'll witness, and then I'll make sure that they actually emerge. All right, now let's see what this smart ass is up to now.
He's not the underdog. He's got a lot more people around him than you think. Like, they're trying to usher him in and call everyone else bastards. Like, Hillary's not a murderer. You've got some people going out there that they want to kill her and she deserves to die and murder Hillary and send her to hell and all that. She's not the one who's done anything bad. Like, she's only an old woman, isn't she?
Now, people of the egoic nature broadcast things as if they were fucking facts. So you get this pissing in the water, the spiritual waters, because spirituality requires truth. And I mean, if we were to check her out, and I just might... Okay, what's this? Now, I'm only attacking your ego. Why? Now, I don't know whether they'll pick that up or respond, because they get caught up in their own conversations. So I'll say it again. So what I'm saying is, who is the arrogant witch? Maybe if I put a question mark on it and spell correctly, they might be happier with that. Come on. So, viewer number one, whoever the fuck you are, the internet can be a good fun. Hey, you're a cool mum for coming here. Most mums are boring. Pay, you're a cool mum. Oh, pay me no mind. I'm insane. Hello, Pay. So the boys latch on to the girls. That's what they do. Egoic nature puts sex ahead of love. Now, who is the arrogant witch? Pay. She might respond. All. STFU. Is TFU. Fuck you. That wasn't cool in the story. Hang on. Try again. Oh, Irish. WB. Who's WB? No, that's just his answer. No. Do it like that, right? No. Then I'll say, the witch on the screen. So, hey. Rose Day Girl. Petra can be the leader. Who's Petra? Don't tell me that's fucking Petra. All right, let's hear more words of wisdom.
I bet she's dead nice. You don't get women who are like that bad.
I don't trust any politicians.
Now that's Hank. He's a cool dude.
Donald Trump is a politician officially. I don't trust him either.
Politics. They don't really affect my life, you know. The politicians on TV and the governments and that don't really affect my life, like. And if they do, it's only for the better, like government money and shit like that. But that's, you know, the doctors think I've got a real good reason for being sick, but I don't think I am sick, like. But they actually think I am. So, you know, I deserve to get this government money. They think I'm sick, then what am I going to do?
I mean, if I, hello, viewer number 2, if I got into that room, I'd turn it into a fucking cat fight in a matter of seconds. Much more entertaining than this.
You know what I mean?
Fuck the politician.
Say like, whatever. I'm not like doing anything bad.
I actually might try and see if I can get in there. I can give you controls. All right, okay. All right, I gotta go. Thank you, viewers. Have fun. Stop. Hang up. And